Welcome back to Motor Madness, your go-to spot for everything on wheels. Today we're diving into a true turn of the Millennium Classic, the 2000 Mitsubishi. Now depending on the market and trim, this could mean a few models, but for this video, we're focusing on the 2000 Mitsubishi Galant, a midsize sedan that was Mitsubishi's answer to cars like the Honda Accord and Toyota Camry during the early 2000s. So buckle up as we take a deep dive into the exterior, interior, performance, and what kind of value this car brings today. First impressions matter, and the 2000 Galant definitely made a statement back in its day. Compared to the more conservative Japanese sedans of its time, the Galant had a bold, almost sporty edge to it. The front fascia came with a slim, wide grille flanked by sleek headlights that gave it a confident face. The hood was relatively long and sculpted, hinting at performance underneath, even if most trims were aimed at family drivers. Down the sides, clean character lines ran from the headlights to the rear taillights, giving the car a stretched and aerodynamic look. The S&DE trims came with body-colored bumpers and mirrors, while the higher GTZ trim featured more aggressive styling cues, fog lamps, and alloy wheels that gave it more presence on the road. The rear had relatively simple styling with large taillights and a subtle lip on the trunk, and altogether, the Galant looked a bit more modern and aggressive than its competitors. Now stepping inside, the interior of the 2000 Mitsubishi Galant was surprisingly refined for its price range. The cabin was spacious and laid out in a driver-focused design, which was a nice touch for a car in this class. The dashboard was gently curved, wrapping around the center console which housed large, easy-to-use climate and audio controls. Materials used in the cabin were a mix of soft-touch plastics and hard surfaces, nothing luxurious but definitely durable. The base trims came with cloth seats, but the higher trims like the LS and GTZ offered plush leather upholstery and even power-adjustable seats. The driving position was comfortable with good visibility all around, and the steering wheel felt solid, even if a bit basic. In terms of storage, you had decent space in the glove box, a center console bin, and cup holders. Rear seat passengers had decent legroom and headroom, although taller adults might find the back a little tight on long rides. Trunk space was about average for the class, making it practical for groceries, luggage, or a couple of golf bags. Let's talk about what really matters, the performance. The 2000 Mitsubishi Galant came with a few engine options, giving buyers some flexibility depending on their needs. The base models came with a 2.4-liter inline-4 engine, producing around 140 horsepower and 155 pound-feet of torque. It wasn't going to blow your socks off, but it delivered adequate performance for daily commuting and weekend drives. It was paired with either a 5-speed manual or a 4-speed automatic transmission, and while the manual gave a more engaging experience, most people opted for the automatic. Where things got more exciting was with the V6 engine offered in the SV6 and GTZ trims. That was a 3.0-liter SOHC V6 putting out around 195 horsepower and 205 pound-feet of torque. With that engine, the Galant felt a lot more responsive, with decent acceleration and passing power. It wasn't a sports car by any means, but it had enough grunt to keep up with traffic and feel lively on winding roads. The suspension was tuned more for comfort than sportiness, but the ride was smooth and quiet, even on rougher roads. Steering felt a little numb but predictable, and overall handling was safe and stable. Fuel economy wasn't groundbreaking but acceptable for the time. The 4-cylinder models averaged around 21 mpg city and 28 mpg highway, while the V6 models were slightly thirstier, coming in at about 19 mpg city and 26 mpg highway. Maintenance-wise, the Galant earned a decent reputation for reliability, especially with the 2.4L engine, though some owners reported issues with automatic transmissions as the miles piled on. As always, keeping up with regular maintenance like oil changes and timing belt replacements goes a long way. Now let's talk about price, both then and now. Back in 2000, the Mitsubishi Galant started at just under $18,000 for the base model. The S and LS trims were priced a little higher, and the top-of-the-line GTZ pushed closer to the $24,000 mark with all the options. For the time, this was pretty competitive, especially considering the standard features and performance you got. Fast forward to today, and the 2000 Galant is definitely in the affordable used car range. Depending on condition, mileage, and trim, you can find them anywhere between $2,000 to $4,000. The V6 models in good shape tend to command a bit more, especially if they've been well maintained. They're not collector's cars by any means, but they're a solid pick for someone looking for a reliable, budget-friendly sedan with a bit of character. So, who is the 2000 Mitsubishi Galant really for today? It's perfect for first-time drivers, students, or anyone who wants a cheap, reliable daily driver that doesn't look completely dated. It's a bit of a sleeper, especially in V6 form, and it's one of those cars that quietly gets the job done without demanding a lot in return. It's got enough space, enough power, and enough style to still hold its own 2 decades later. That's it for today's review of the 2000 Mitsubishi Galant. If you enjoyed this detailed breakdown, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to Motor Madness, and drop a comment below if you've ever owned one of these or have a car you want us to review next. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next ride.